6 months ago, I packed 2 suitcases, booked a one-way flight from Boston to Dubai, and ever since then, I've made more friends than I can count. I've grown the business at least 3x, and I've lost 25 pounds. So, in this video, I'm going to be explaining why, as an American entrepreneur, I decided to leave everything in the US, essentially start a new life in Dubai, and what the results of that have been. And my goal for this video is not to try to sell you on Dubai. I want to share with you my experience living here for over 6 months, all the opportunities it's given me, and why, if you're looking for a new city, I'd recommend coming up here too. So here's 7 reasons why I love Dubai and why I think you should consider moving here. 1, there's taxes. Now, I understand Americans have a very different perspective on this. We get taxed globally, it doesn't really matter where we live. But with that being said, there are some substantial advantages. Mostly this is FEIE, which is Foreign Earned Income Exclusion, which means if you make over, I think it's 140K a year, you could save 30 to 35,000 bucks, which isn't a ton. It's not like we're from the UK and we save everything, but that's rent free. All right, that's a lot of fun money that you would otherwise just go to the government. So just by switching your location, you are saving a decent chunk of change. What that means for me personally is I can invest all of that back into advertisement. I can invest that into better operations. I can invest that into getting a nice place to live and wake up and be proud of every morning. 2, gonna be safety. I used to live right outside Ybor City in Tampa. Now, if you know anything about Ybor City, not the best neighborhood in the world. And you'd constantly go on your balcony in Tampa, especially outside Ybor, and you'd hear gunshots almost every night. It was pretty dramatic. You'd hear people yelling, people running back and forth. It was just a chaotic mess. Now, even the bad neighborhoods in Dubai are not like this at all. It is one of the safest cities in the world. So if you have a girlfriend, you have a wife, you have kids, you really do not need to worry about anything bad happening to them. And that's not a huge thing. There's plenty of safe cities in the world, but having that peace of mind really does help when you're trying to build something big. For the first 2 months I lived here, I had to get reaccustomed to Dubai because back in Tampa, back in Boston even, whenever you go outside, especially at night, you kind of have to look over your shoulder a little bit because you just don't know. Whereas here, I never have that problem. It's very safe. It's very clean, it's very nice. 3 is that the government actually supports entrepreneurs. And what I mean by that is there is real incentives to come over here, bring your capital and invest in the city. I've made so many friends from the Netherlands, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Germany, who have all decided to move to Dubai, whether it's to save money, to invest in the city, to grow the business from here. And every single one of them agree it's just the best place to work and do business. Number 4 is the location, especially with Emirates Airlines. Almost every client I work with is in the US. So there is about an 8 to 12 hour time difference just between us. But I still love to go out and visit clients whenever I can. And with Emirates, I can go to any big city in the US in a matter of hours. I could be in Houston, Texas in 12 hours. I could be in California in 20. Which means for actual in-person events, for meetings, I can organize that very easily. And with credit card points, man, it's like, I think to get from here to Boston or New York, it's like 30,000 points and like $200. It's really not much money. And I love Emirates too. I'm a sucker for Emirates Airlines. I get in the airplane and I just feel so comfy. Number 5 is the culture of Dubai, especially now because it's summertime. Dubai is super unique as a city because it can be any kind of city you want it to be. If you want to be a DJ and go out every night till 4 or 5 a.m., you can do that. If you want to lock in and just record videos and just get work done, you can have a delivery driver come up to your apartment or your house and hand off any kind of food, any kind of accessory at any time of day. Which means if you want a pizza at 7 a.m., you can get a pizza. If you want Red Bull, like I do in the morning, you press a few buttons and 6 minutes later, you have a Red Bull in your hand. And especially in the summertime, what people do is they go to hookah lounges. They don't even drink. They go to hookah lounges to work, network, and meet new people. And especially this month, I've met a lot of really interesting people at hookah lounges. So whether you want to be a total degen, spend all your money on nightlife, whether you want to save every penny and just get all your food, everything that you need delivered to your door, you have options to do both, which is super rare in a city like this. 6 is the people. And again, Dubai is super unique because it's like 90% expat, which means everyone who actually lives here has a really cool story to tell. There's businessmen from Kuwait, there's entrepreneurs from Russia, there's musicians like my friend Fernando from Peru, there's Americans like my friend David who lives down the road. There's every kind of person you can imagine in this city. So you get the total international element of a place like New York City or LA, but with none of the crime and all of the opportunity. And you know, despite what a lot of people think, a lot of my friends, when I told them I live in Dubai most of the time now, have said, oh, well, you can't drink alcohol, you can't do anything, you can't hold hands outside. That's not really true. Dubai is actually a pretty secular city. Just be respectful in public places like you would want to do anywhere and you'd be fine. And the last part is freedom and optionality. I joke with some of my friends that I'm becoming a vampire. I tend to work super well very late at night, which fits into working on a US schedule anyways. But I have a jacuzzi on my balcony in a fully decked out apartment, which costs half of what I used to pay in Florida. And when it comes to freedom and just optionality, you can just do things. You can get on flights to go anywhere in the world. You can go crazy at nightclubs. You can do anything that you really want to do, which means you want to just make money because you want to have the availability to have that optionality. You want to be able to travel whenever you want to travel. You want to be able to have these cool, nice experiences, which means actually want to focus on making money, because when you make money here, you can actually do things with it. I remember being by my parents' place, and it's the middle of Massachusetts, and I would say, even if I made $10 million here, what am I going to do with it? Like, am I going to drive supercars on broken roads? Am I going to buy a bigger house? Like, there's no real cool experiences to do. Whereas here, you get access to the best and brightest of the world, so you can do anything that you want. It's the epitome of capitalism as a city, which is why I love it so much. All this to say, I wish I made the decision to come here soon. I don't want to be dramatic and be like, oh, this has changed my life so much, but it really has. I feel better. I'm making more friends. I'm getting more opportunities. I'm making more business. Things are going very well. And I feel like me coming to the other part of the world has substantially helped me do that. So the moral of the story is that whether it's moving to Dubai or taking a risk in business, just do something which is going to increase your perception of yourself. When you invest in things that really help you out and grow as a person, it always comes back. It always does. And when you put all that energy into helping other people do something that you're really passionate about doing, everything works out.